All right. So it looks like we should be starting this stream. And so, hello and welcome to tonight's live stream. We're the World Wise Guys. And if you're catching us live, awesome. If you happen to catch us, of course, in the recorded part in one of our playlists, that's also awesome. Either way, you're awesome. And we appreciate you taking the time to listen, even for just a little bit. So tonight we're here to chew bubblegum and play some games. And I think I'm all fresh out of gum. Is that how that line goes, Brent?
No, that's not how that line goes at all.
You murdered that. That was
you're close enough, I guess.
Close enough. That was from what They Live.
Yes, They Live.
Yeah, I thought I would test your movie knowledge by butchering one of your favorite quotes.
Roddy Piper, may he rest in peace.
Wow, sorry. So tonight's game that we're actually going to be playing, we could be delving into, is going to be the Fallout 2D20 system by Modiphius. So if you guys remember a couple videos ago, we started actually looking at Fallout in an attempt to kind of just because we really this is entirely prompted by the fact that the Fallout trailer came out from Amazon Studios. They're going to be doing the Fallout stuff next year. And so we thought we would at least take a look at the officially licensed role-playing game from Modiphius, give it a try, read through the core book, see what their initial starting adventure and everything like that looks like. And of course, and if we like it, hey, we like it. Maybe we'll play some more games in the Wasteland. But needless to say, you guys ready to get some character creation going?
We are ready to sally forth.
Okay, so with the Fallout 2D20 system, I mean, it is coming from Modiphius, and what they did is that they put, and if you guys look at the 2D20 and everything like that, they sell this as kind of be a game system that emulates and celebrates action-packed, story-driven fiction. This is according to their SRD. And it thrives when it's paired with a setting or theme where competent, determined, often larger-than-life protagonists face tense and perilous situations, and where collaboration and teamwork are vital to success. And so, if looking at you two, I'm not sure that teamwork is your strongest suit.
I was feeling more challenged by the competency part.
Oh, well, the good news is, Brent, in this game, when you're rolling your D20s, you have to roll low. So I think the 2D20 system is designed for you.
Well, yeah, but what you don't know is that fate knows. Fate knows what I need, and often chooses not to give that to me.
That's fair. That's fair. Well, in this game, there's a way to address some of that fate through some mechanics that we'll talk about as we go through the character creation process. And of course, we'll hopefully see how much we know about Fallout, because what I learned as I was reading through the book and reading through some of the history and stuff like that, because this game is so heavily tied to the Fallout 4 Commonwealth and everything like that, I apparently don't know a lot of this game's lore. And also, when I kind of dug into it, I don't remember a lot of the previous game's lore. So I just chalk that up to having a really bad memory. So consider me a Fallout noob when it comes to understanding the game. So with that in mind, I did read the book. So I'm going to get us started on characters. Did you guys have kind of some Wasteland character concepts that you were tossing around in your heads?
I was going to be a ghoul. Does that help?
That does help. I mean, a ghoul is a character that you can play in the game.
Indeed.
Jeff, did you have any character concepts or anything like that you were
I
flirting
honestly
with?
do not at this point.
Okay. Well, so I'm not going to necessarily. So this looks like it's probably going to be a little bit longer than a one shot. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to follow a lot of the kind of rules as written kind of thing and see how it performs just from a standard. Mike's not going to do any homebrewing and all that kind of stuff. And if we run into inconsistencies, we can note those down as to as to things that we'll be doing. And so this is this adventure is going to go over 3 acts. So I suspect it's probably going to have a few episodes, not a terribly large number based on my read of it, unless you guys go fully off the rails.
You never know.
You never know. I didn't, one of the things I was reading at one of the corporations, like the Boring Corporation. Do you guys remember them or know about them?
Mm-mm.
Apparently they're the Eldritch Horror analog or something. And I was like,
oh, I do know about them. Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought that was kind of a interesting thing. As I was reading through this, I was like, oh, I didn't realize that was in the game. Maybe I just
there in Fallout 4 there is a weird Eldritch Horror theme in it. There's like the ritual knife you can find and like the house that eats people or something like that.
Yeah. So as I said before, I haven't actually played a lot of the Fallout. A lot of the Fallout games past Vegas and Fallout 3. I did try to play some of the earlier ones after I got them on Steam, but just never really finished them. So it'll be fun to dive into the lore and see what's up. So to kind of give you a little bit of a backdrop as to where your characters are going to be situated, so you guys can have an idea as to, what concepts to kind of incorporate into your characters, is that you will be living in a settlement that was recently created, and it was created about a year prior, using the activation of something called a Garden of Eden creation kit. Do you guys know what that is?
No, I don't believe that. I don't believe that was in Fallout 4.
I don't know if it was or not, but the Garden of Eden creation kit is basically it's vault technology, and it is something that is kind of like a suitcase sized kind of terraforming kit with all the bells, whistles, and everything that you would need in order to strike back out into the post-nuclear Earth and start up a new community. It does have like a generator, like a cold fusion generator, so it can provide you with energy and everything like that. And the establishment of this Garden of Eden creation kit allowed a settlement to build. So in terms of like how this settlement is going to play a part of the game, I'm actually going to have you guys help me build this settlement. So kind of, call back to how we did the Fabula Ultima stuff. Part of the character creation process, once we're done with that, we're actually going to help build the settlement. Just get some basic details, not too fleshed out. Just get an idea as to what you guys envision the settlement will be. Also, in addition to that, as we play through, I'm going to have you help me create NPCs. So, that you can kind of like, if, we're looking for NPCs, you can actually help me by generating some of the NPCs that you feel might be littered throughout the Wasteland. So are you guys have any questions about the overview and all that stuff for the adventure and where we're starting?
Nope.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go ahead.
What question did you
have?
Jeff?
No. I meant, yes, I'm ready to.
Oh, okay.
I was like, I kind of took it as
I'm reading about the characters, where you can play. So I'm
okay. So, so as we're going through this, there's going to be, because we're doing kind of a short adventure and stuff like that, I don't want you to feel like any of the particular rules are out of bounds, even though there might be some which we may not see. So I just want to forewarn you, like scavenging and stuff like that. That's not necessarily the emphasis of the adventure. So getting into the scavenging rules and all of those kind of things, you may see less of those. But we'll take it as we go, just because, I like how you guys play. Maybe you guys will go all the way off the rails. Maybe you won't. Who knows? We will see as the time comes.
What fun.
What fun. So let's go ahead and go to the character creation process. And one thing that's kind of a little bit about the layout of this is that there is I do feel like the layout for the character creation is a little bit wonky, because they kind of go into the game rules are the first few chapters. And so you'll actually see that, how to play the game is like chapters 1 through 3. And I think what they did that for, and this is my own personal opinion, since I haven't seen anything from them as to why they designed it this way, is just that those are the quickly accessible components, so that when you're playing, you don't necessarily need to go all to the different character creation things. You go straight to the game rules that you need in the first third of the book. But then when you get to the actual character creation, they go through and they actually describe a lot of the different stats and all those kind of things prior to this, just so you have those kind of up front. And then on page 50 of the book, you actually get the character creation summary, which is basically walks through the 6 steps that it takes to create the character. So this is actually important because Brent is already kind of partially done with step 1. And he had actually chosen a ghoul. Now, ghouls are are a result of prolonged exposure to the effects of background gamma radiation. And of course, that's typical of the Great War, necrotic post-human, all that kind of stuff. Brent, what kind of ideas did you have about your ghoul? Like, are you kind of a clean ghoul? I don't know.
You can be a ghoul vault dweller, Brent.
Yeah, you can be from Vault 12. No, but I think I've been in the Wasteland for a while.
Okay.
I was thinking more. So we have the settlement, right?
Yep.
And have we been in the settlement since the beginning, or?
That's up to you. I mean, the settlement's been around for a year.
Because my idea was like a kind of Wasteland gunslinger ghoul.
Okay.
So he could be the sheriff, or he could be somebody that just wandered into the settlement and kind of stayed for a while.
Okay, that's a good start. Sheriff or the wanderer, either way is fine. There's no restrictions if you want to choose to be either or. If you feel
okay, I'll be the sheriff then.
Okay, sounds good. All right, and so Brent is taking the ghoul. And one thing that they do mention as you're choosing your origin, you do get a trait. So the ghoul's trait is necrotic post-human, and you are immune to radiation damage. And those of you that have played the Fallout franchise of any amount know that radiations, rads or whatever, are important to monitor so you don't just melt, I guess.
Actually, I'm actually healed by it even.
Yeah. So in this case, they get healed by it and they gain 1 HP for every 3 points of radiation damage inflicted upon them. And if you are rested in a radiated location, your injuries heal. In addition, survival becomes a tag skill, increasing it by 2 ranks. So that's important. Tag skills are the types of skills we'll talk about in just a little bit, but that's important when you have tag skills. You also age at a much decreased rate. You're probably older than your unmutated companions, and you may even have survived the Great War of 2077, but you're sterile. And the first generation of ghouls is the last, as the saying goes. You may face discrimination from smooth skins, humans who aren't ghouls, increasing the difficulty or complication range of charisma test during your opponent's, depending on your opponent's beliefs. So Brent is again choosing a character. No, I was kidding. I'm just kidding.
A dead character? Yes.
A dead character. That's true. Okay. So Jeff, what about you? There are 6 different origins. There's the Brotherhood of Steel, Ghoul, Super Mutants, Mr. Handies, Survivors, and Vault Dwellers.
I think I'm going to be a Survivor.
Okay. Survivor definitely seemed like the most versatile of all the classes. They're the people they're the humans that survived the Wasteland this entire time. You can come from any number of settlements. You can come from an isolated shelter, whatever that backstory looks like for your character to have survived the Wasteland. Now, what's interesting is you can, as part of your origin, you choose 2 traits. Now, with this, they actually have, and I'm going to show the screen here. They actually can have either 2 traits, or they can choose 1 trait and 1 additional perk. And so each trait has the benefit and an accompanying penalty. So as you're going through, you have educated, fast shot, gifted, heavy-handed, and small frame. Did any of these speak to your character? Like, what were you kind of thinking for who your character?
I think we're going with fast shot.
Okay, so 2 gunslinger-esque types. Okay,
yeah,
so
I thought about gifted, but
sure.
Yeah, we're going with fast shot.
We'll talk about more of the game rules later, but the basis is that if you're taking a second major action in combat, which you spend AP to do, this only costs 1 instead of 2 AP. Now the penalty is that you cannot benefit from the aim minor action. You're just too impatient.
Who aims?
Meaning that you're the person who just kind of shoots from the hip all the time. More bullets, the better. It sounds like.
Yeah. VATS always sucked in the game. So
That's fair. That's fair. Perfect. So, kind of going back to our handy character creation summary, you guys have chosen your origin. Now you get to increase your special attributes. Each attribute starts with a rank of 5, and spend 5 attributes across your 7 to increase them to a maximum of 10 each. You can reduce any attribute from 5 to 4 to gain a point and distribute that in any other attribute. So I'm looking at the Fallout character sheet. You can see that you have strength, perception, endurance, charisma, intelligence, agility, and luck. So anybody familiar with Dungeons and Dragons style role-playing games are going to have a fairly good understanding of these, because it feels like they're very similarly based on those kind of general understanding of those stats. But did you guys have any questions on any of the stats or anything like that?
No, I understand. Did you see the arrays, Brent? They got 3 arrays.
Oh, I didn't. I just kind of moved the points around.
Okay, they've got balanced, focused, and specialized.
Yep. So you can basically, let's see, you can get 3 arrays. The 3 arrays just make it easy for you to choose your stats and by having somebody else do the math for you. However, if you want to, move the points around yourself and everything like that, that's fine too.
What are you focusing on?
Small guns, because I think that's what pistols are under.
So small guns are agility.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And when we get to that next skill area, you'll find that each of the skills that they suggest do have a they do actually have a specific or they have a default attribute that are assigned to them. Mm-hmm. And so you can basically know that if you're taking a certain weapon, know that most of the time it's going to default to this one attribute. However, there may be circumstances, depending on how you use that skill or how that skill is used, you might have a different attribute that is appropriate.
Yeah, and your tag skills, you get 2 ranks
mm-hmm.
in them.
Yep. So once you're on step 3, you choose 3 skills to be your tag skills. And of course, these are, I believe, now correct me if I'm wrong, these skills and everything like that are the skills from the game, basically.
Mm-hmm. Skills
like
and
athletics,
yeah.
barter, big guns, energy weapons, etc.
Speech.
And it's a small skill list. So you'll notice that some of these skills are probably going to be very broad in how they're used and everything like that. So for example, I always find like a skill like the speech skill is going to be like, oh, I want to talk with people and I'm not in the process of doing an exchange of business, so speech covers it.
Well, yeah, it's basically just like the game. Like anything that isn't negotiation is speech, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And so the nice thing about this one is that you can simply choose your tag skills by clicking the little button there. It does not seem to have those automatically programmed where it puts the skills in there. But one other thing to note is that when you're putting your skills and everything like that, you cannot start with any skill above rank 3. So, because you're first level characters.
Oh, so small gun is anything that's not a big gun, like.
Yeah, anything that's really not a rocket launcher. Right?
Anything that's not a rocket launcher or a minigun, yes.
Well, so in that you basically have, so if you're looking at the firearms types weapons, big guns, energy weapons, you have small guns, and I think those are
no, you have big guns and you have big guns and small guns. And big guns are miniguns, rocket launchers, like heavy weapons. It says that. And then,
well, yeah, but then you have energy weapons though.
Yeah.
So
yeah, but I just mean like guns as in guns,
yeah.
not as in lasers.
Yeah, it's either big or small, your choice.
Yeah, I thought rifles was under big guns, but it is not. It is
no.
Yeah. Think bigger, Brent. Bigger.
Yeah, bigger guns. That's correct.
I mean, Although I can't imagine how many fat mans they'll be giving out in this small introductory adventure.
If you gave out one, it would just mean that we're dead, pretty much. I have no faith that it wouldn't just mean that we're dead.
Because you used it on yourself on accident, or
well, yes, that's part of it. Yes,
that's funny. Gosh, yeah, I could see you guys. Well, I got this fat man. I'm going to use it. Well, I'm not far enough away. So.
All right, so our tag skills start off with 2.
Mm-hmm. And so that means your tag skills can only be brought to a 3. So it doesn't mean you can go to 5 right out of the gate.
And we get 9 points plus intelligence.
9 points plus intelligence.
I should have put more into intelligence, but I didn't. So there we go. What were your dump stats, Brent?
I'm also not very smart.
I dumped strength and intelligence.
I dumped charisma and intelligence.
Your dump stat was actually charisma, Brent? Good job.
I'm a ghoul.
Well, that doesn't mean you can't talk to people. I mean,
so I get 13 points in skills.
Yeah, I have a 4 in intelligence and 4 in charisma. Everything else is pretty okay.
And the only limitation is we can't go over 3, right?
Correct. And how these skills will impact your play is that choose these. So everything that you do is going to be an attribute plus a skill in terms of a skill challenge. Now, with this 2d20 system, you're actually going to try to roll low. So, and as part of the check, you can actually purchase additional d20s.
Yeah, you're trying to roll under your attribute plus your skill. So correct. If like your attribute is 8 and your skill is 3, you want to roll under an
11 or 11 or under.
11
so 11 or under. Now, the interesting part about it is that it does consider if any of your dice are under your skill and it is a tag skill, then those count as critical successes, earning you additional action points. Now, the way I'm reading this, they want you to spend action points on a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. So I want you to be wary that don't hoard action points. It doesn't help you as much as using them will, because I believe you can only keep 6 action points total. Yeah. And so you need to spend action points on like asking questions for information gathering. You need to spend action points on doing additional actions in combat. I mean, there's a list of items that you use action points for. So it is important for you to recognize that having those critical successes is very helpful. And action points are super helpful. And also, I get action points as the DM. So
yeah, and we can give you action points so you can do things.
Yeah, you can literally buy action points at the expense of giving me action points, which I thought was kind of neat.
Yeah, that's the Doom mechanic in Conan too.
Mm-hmm. They call it a Doom mechanic.
Yep, it's a Doom token when you give it to the GM.
Yeah, that's the one thing I thought was kind of challenging to record, is that like all the action points coming and going. I can see why they'd want to use some sort of tokens to to monitor that pool. Now, the one thing that you can say is that the actual DM's action point pool is unlimited. Like I said, whereas your guys' is not. So you can buy as many action points as you want. Just know it may come back to haunt you, dun, 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 or something. Or something. Oh, geez. Okay.
Man, I don't know what to pick for the perk.
Yeah, so perks, you can only pick rank 1 perks, correct? How do they work?
Oh, so you got to the perks.
You can pick any of them. You got to meet the requirements, though.
Correct.
Right.
So when you go to the perks list, what you have is, when you're breaking it down, is you have the name of the perk, and I'll let me put this back on screen so that everyone can see it. So you have the name of the perk, you have the number of ranks that are purchasable, and that's the rank 1 is only get 1 rank of this perk. The requirements are what are going to tell you, what you need to have to meet and purchase the perk. And so that's why you see, like, for example, on Adamantium Skeleton,
I didn't read enough.
There we go.
Happens to the best of us.
Hey, Soraya, surprise. Literacy is a problem in America.
So you got to ranks and you're like, what do I need to buy this?
Yeah, and then I just read the first part, and then because I kind of know what they do based off playing the game, so I didn't think to brain no worky. I didn't think to keep reading.
Oh yeah, and so it's pretty easy though. But like having a stat and or level requirement isn't uncommon. I haven't seen perks that require other perks. However, you might see perks that are limited to organics or robots. So they say, like, as you see, barbarian, you can't be a barbarian and be a robot for some reason.
That's ridiculous.
I find that to be ridiculous too, based on how they describe it.
All right, I think I'm taking center mass. I thought about action boy, but
yeah, center mass looks pretty good.
I didn't read all of them though. I got to center mass and went, oh, hey now.
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't want to spend the entire time here like
reading all of them,
all of the things in case you didn't
you're
have
no
a chance to
fun.
skim through this. But if
People
you
don't
do
like watching things they can't see reading.
I'm gonna take action boy, I think.
Okay. Now, Jeff, did you choose 2 traits or did you choose 1 trait and 1 perk?
Oh,
because you get 1 additional perk if you only chose 1 trait.
Right.
I did fast shot.
I could take dog meat.
You could.
I thought you were going to take cap collector, Brent.
Nah, I'm not. I don't have that much forethought. I like how they felt you had to write it into the thing that you get another dog or can switch perks if your GM's dick enough to kill the dog.
Well, it wouldn't be me per se, but I do have to say.
Oh, it would be. No.
You know what? Let's just double down. I'm going to go with gifted, Mike. I'm going to take a second trait.
It would be you.
Oh, you're going to take the other trait of gifted?
Yeah, I'm going to take gifted. Luck. I just don't. Yeah, luck's now a dump stat, Brent.
Okay. Well, luck is important.
Nope, it's a dump stat.
Dump stat.
I put a 5 in it, and with gifted, it's now I only have 4. My maximum luck points are now 4. So,
but your luck still stays the same, though. Just so you know, it's just the number of luck points received. Okay, so
I choose 2 attributes and increase them by 1 each.
Yeah,
you're a hefty boy.
It wouldn't do me any good to increase luck. That would be
well. Dumb. I mean, you'd still get. I mean, it would be why I do that then, but
right. No, I get that.
I wonder if there's a meta build where you build the lucky character and you just dump all up to 10 and then on luck.
I'm sure somebody put everything into luck. Since we're one-shotting, I'm not necessarily trying to min.
There is in the game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you go up to 10 in luck and you take Idiot Savant, and basically you occasionally crit on your XP gains. And so you level up like twice. It winds up being mathematically you level up like 3 times faster than anyone that just takes high intelligence.
Okay. Yeah, and I think
hence the fence post farming in your starting area.
Yeah, I just looked at the perks and it doesn't look as though they have the Idiot Savant perk. So
they
obviously didn't think that was an appropriate.
No, that's total
methodology to level up. Okay, so so once you guys have both selected your perks, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, derived statistics in this, it looks like there's 6 if you actually do the correct amount of counting. So we have our carry weight, and your carry weight is how much gear you can carry. You can carry a base of 150 pounds of equipment plus your strength attribute multiplied by 10.
Oh, Jesus, math.
It's not that crazy.
I can do 190 then.
Okay.
Say that again.
So 150 plus strength times 10, or do you mean Jeff say his 190? Again?
No, 150 times strength times 10. So no. I can do.
Plus strength times 10.
Plus strength times 10. That's what I meant. So 200 is mine.
Yeah, my
Okay.
strength is only 4, so
Fair enough.
and that's max, right? That's max carry weight.
Correct. Well,
Okay.
correct.
And where? Do
and of course, if you have the opportunity
second
to
page
choose,
all the way at the bottom left,
Yep,
right?
I got it.
Yeah.
Not 2,000.
Well, if you just tell Mike it's 2,000, he may not notice. I'll just use you to mule all the shit I pick up.
He's not good at anything else. He has his 10 in strength, and
Are you guys using illegal mods? Is that what's happening here?
yes.
Next, you have your damage resistance. Your resistance to different type of damage is determined by your equipment and your perks. So you'll probably find that there's going to be some of this that you'll go back to, because all of your initial damage resistances are going to be 0, unless you have something that tells you otherwise. And you'll find that when you go on the main character sheet, under the combat section, where you see, isn't that guy called like the Pit Boy? Is that what his name is?
Vault Boy.
Vault Boy. You'll see that there's the poison DR up in the upper left-hand corner, and then you have each location will have all of your different your different resistances. So your damage resistance for your head could be different than another part of your body. So that's something to be really considerate of.
Sorry, can you go over that again?
So on your character sheet, each of your hit locations does have its own damage resistance.
Mhm.
So if you had like a Brotherhood of Steel power armor suit, you might have, physical damage resistance in all locations that is the same. But if you're wearing like piecemeal armor, you may have a torso physical resistance that's better than your head. So
you didn't tell us how to calculate that, though.
Oh, yeah, because you have zeros and all that until you get gear.
Oh, okay. Because
Yeah.
that's what I thought I missed.
Yep. Nope. Zeros and all that until you get gear. Now, this one's important. So your next derived stat is your defense, and is the basic ability of any attacks, basic difficulty of any attacks made against you, and it is based entirely on your agility attribute. So you're going to have one of two numbers. If your agility is 8 or less, your defense is 1. If your agility is 9 or higher, your defense is 2.
I feel like I should drop my endurance and get 1 more point in agility.
So wait. If my agility is 9, my
defense is 2.
My defense is 2. Okay. Because I got it to 9 with my gifted thing.
Nice. Yeah. So you'll see in that under the combat section, the middle bar is
I see defense.
Yeah. And that just means how many successes, somebody has to roll in order to hit you, kind of thing.
All right. I even got a character name.
Oh, sweet. I like it. What is your character name, Jeff?
Crawl.
Crawl?
Yep.
Because
we were talking about Pauly Shore earlier, so I looked up Pauly Shore movie role names, and Crawl is the character you played in Son-in-Law. So there we go.
Okay, that's fair. You know what? I challenge you to create a different backstory as to why your character might be either named or nicknamed Crawl.
It also felt like it might be kind of a Fallout name, but he has some. He's got retro, Buzz, Crawl, Bones, Bud, Chuck, Snivel, just all kinds of different.
Now, was it Pauly Shore? Was he the one who was just like, buddy? Had that weird.
Yeah,
the weasel, yes.
Yeah, okay. I know that's not going to, doesn't help.
I know
anybody.
It's stupid, but you got to find a name from somewhere, and my other choice was Steve, which is a reference that Brent will get.
It's true.
Or is it Steve-O, Brent? My brain is not working.
It's Steve. It's Steve, I believe.
Yeah.
It's a reference that Brent will get and Brent will not.
My character is named Stockton Abernathy.
Stockton Abernathy the Ghoul, and I'm just Crawl the Survivor.
Do you happen to be the second, the third,
Nope.
junior,
The first Stockton
The
Abernathy.
first.
and the last?
You should be the first. Stockton
The
Abernathy.
the Stockton
first.
Abernathy. The Stockton Abernathy. Thank you.
If
Yeah,
you do it like that, isn't it the Stockton
The Stockton
Abernathy?
Abernathy. Yes.
Yeah, you gotta really hit that hard.
I should have made him a super mutant who refers to himself in the third person all the time.
And I think crawl is obvious, Mike, that, in the Wasteland, sometimes the thing that you can do best is to just crawl away from danger.
Crawl forward.
Yeah. Crawl forward.
That's fair. Okay, so next, your next arrived stat is going to be your initiative. It's going to be your perception plus agility. Now
Perception plus agility. Oh, hey, there we go.
Yeah.
16.
So the thing that's really important about this is that there's two components. Is the first person to like the initiator of combat, and I'll have to double check to see if this applies at all sides. Is that there's going to be somebody who goes first. Like you see a bunch of rad roaches down a hallway, and somebody says, I'm going to shoot one, and that person gets to go. And that triggers combat. So that person doing that action triggers combat. So they got like a free action in that scenario. But this also could be from an NPC perspective, is that if they get the drop on you, somebody may get to go kind of like a standard, like an old school D&D surprise round, but just for one person. And then after that, initiative is based on my read, is basically just your initiative is your static location in the order. So if you have an initiative of 11 and Brent has an initiative of 10, Jeff will always go before Brent unless Brent chooses to use an action point to adjust when he goes in the whole initiative order process.
Well, it's 16 and 15, so.
Jeez. I feel like there's some meta I'm going to find out as soon as I run this, where you guys have chosen like the gunslingers, and they're just going to be these bullet hell things where everyone's, any possible mob I throw at you. Yeah. I don't know. We'll find out. It could be a really deadly game for the NPCs, or
if a character in the Wasteland dies, doesn't it mean he just found peace? Like,
if a character in the Wasteland dies, does anybody notice? Maybe. Who knows?
Probably.
So your health points tell you how much damage you can withstand. Your maximum health point total at first level is equal to your endurance plus your luck.
Okay. What is your endurance plus your luck?
Your health points. So you have so on your character sheet, you'll notice in the upper right hand corner of the ball, you have your maximum HP and your current
12.
HP.
Oh, yours is 12 as well. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're pretty close.
Did you tell us melee damage? Did I miss that?
No, that's next.
Okay.
So melee damage statistic lists any bonus damage you do with a melee weapon or an unarmed attack, due to having a high strength attribute. Do either of you have a strength of 7 or higher?
It's 5.
No, sir.
Okay. And if you're looking at that derived statistics part of the book, you'll notice that it has the little Vault Boy face. One comment is that for this game, and I believe they have for probably all their 2d20, is they did create a specific set of dice. They sell these dice. I think I saw it on their website for like $23, but it's really just D20s and D6s. However, whenever you see a dice that shows a little Vault Boy there, that specifically means that you're rolling a combat dice, and that's going to be the D6. Now, a D6 could have, and it's kind of weird because it's like it's so like when you see, if you like roll for ammo or something like that, you'll see that you get 10 shots plus 3 combat dice worth of ammo. Now, what I read online, according to the lead designer, is that means when you roll those combat dice, you either get 0, 1, or 2. So just an FYI, it doesn't go to 6 like you might think it would, meaning that your ammo can be pretty sparse when you start off with.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, does that mean you guys have both got your derived statistics all laid out?
Indeed.
Looks like it, yeah.
It doesn't look as a ghoul like I get any positions. Is that correct?
Let's take a look. So as a ghoul, I'm
not listed there, so I assume not.
Well, let's go back to the ghoul section just to go through. Okay, so ghoul. You're a ghoul, a necrotic post-humans.
I'm nowhere on page 76. Doesn't have me anywhere either, so it's probably just my derived stats of shit. Or for my tag skills, I mean.
Yeah, so it looks like that's probably where it's coming from. Okay.
Oh no, Brent, you're a Wastelander. Characters who select either the ghoul or the survivor. You want to look on page 79.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
Okay.
Origins may select one of the following equipment packs. So mercenary, raider, or settler.
Jeff,
or
once
trader.
again, reads better than us.
Oh, and wanderer. There's a bunch. Sorry.
See, that's why we actually have that's why we have all three of us doing this, because none of us have played the game before, so it's not like any of us can claim any sort of system mastery with this.
No, that's why it's moving a little slow too.
It's okay. It is okay.
It is.
And so you both are going to choose from this pack list or from this equipment list. Now, the one thing that you'll notice is that in order to restore luck points, you can use a trinket to like reflect on and everything like that. And you'll notice that some equipment lists have trinkets and some don't. So like, for example, if you flip the page to page 80 and that's a trader, that trader has one personal trinket. So does the wanderer.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I think the settler, trader, and wanderer all have personal trinkets. If you can still have a trinket of your own, so like you could have a locket with your, grandmother in it or something like that. But if it's not listed as a personal trinket, you can't use its effect like that. So just an FYI. I do have to say that I was actually kind of curious, because not knowing you two, I was wondering if, like Brent, you would choose the super mutant just to kind of have the big burly.
I don't really play characters like that very often, though.
I was just curious. I know you like. I do know you like the barbarian-esque characters.
Once in a while.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay. So,
what are you going with? Like, I want the loadout for mercenary, but I don't know if I really want to actually be the mercenary.
That's what I'm taking as mercenary. I figured that's what I did before I became sheriff of this little town.
Okay, that's fair. Right. That is fair.
And I probably don't tell people I wasn't a very nice person.
So, you guys are both taking the mercenary loadout?
No, I think Jeff said he's not.
You said you kind of wanted it, but you're not going for it.
Yeah, I'm not sure I want to go for it.
Are you looking for something specific? For example, you definitely
I almost want to do trader.
Okay. Trader's not too bad. I like it because you do get some additional wares that you can either have for yourself as additional equipment, or
I think I'm gonna do trader. I'm gonna be a trader.
And you get a pack Brahmin.
Well, yeah, that's gonna make travel move super fast. That's great.
So that's so under the mercenary, that's 10 plus 5 d6, right? Or
yeah,
D3.
so
10
plus 5 rounds of ammunition for the chosen. Now it is weird because there's one 1 2, 2 blanks, and then 2 more ones with effects.
Right.
So I believe they actually have a D6 analog in here for combat dice. Just a second, let me find that real quick. Just so that I think that if I remember correctly, it like 1 is 1, 2 is 2, 3 and 4 are 0.
But I mean, what is that? Is that the amount of ammunition I have?
That would be in addition to the 10.
Okay.
So if you want to roll those in the Discord roller, just
Ready.
yeah. So here it is.
So I think like 3 and 4 are nothing.
Yeah, so 3 and 4 are nothing. 5 is 1 plus damage effects trigger, the same as 6. So,
But like, what does that mean in this case?
it just would mean 1. You
It's
just take the
special.
number.
Yeah. So I get 1 for 1 and 1 for 6
Correct.
and 1 for 2 or no? Because like, isn't it 1, 2, 3,
So-
4, 5, 6?
Yeah, so did you roll any 2s?
Yes.
Yep, that would give you 2 ammo.
Okay, so 1, 2 is 2 ammo because I rolled 1, 1, 1, 2, 1,
That's
3,
three.
1, 4, and 1,
0.
6.
So 1 for the 1, 2 for the 2, 0 for the 3 and the 4, and 1 for the 6.
Okay.
It's kind of I think that's one thing I'm not exactly excited about for the combat dice. And I looked on DD
Conan's
dice.
the same. Yeah, Conan's the same way.
Yeah. So it is. I mean, I don't mind it, but it definitely feels like
They're not being it's easier in combat because the special effects make more sense. 0, 1, and 2 being 1 damage and 2 damage, 3 and 4 being 0 damage, and then 5 and 6 being special effects is a little bit easier in combat. It's a little weird when you're trying to relate them to numbers like this right now.
yeah, like the ammo numbers. I think there's a lot of stuff that are there's variation for a lot of the things you get, and they use combat dice to give you that variation. Which, I mean, interesting choice. I mean, it takes probably a little bit of getting used to, but I'm sure after a game, like you would have that down pretty bad. So, okay, so you guys have your equipment set up and everything. Like, you've chosen your equipment. Is that correct?
Mhm.
Okay.
I have.
So now you get your so there is a section that says personal trinkets, and so for the mercenary, you do not get a personal trinket, but Jeff, you do get a personal trinket because you're a trader.
I do.
You can either roll on the table, or if you feel like your character has a trinket that means a lot to you and you just have it like on the top of your head, go ahead and let us know now.
Give me 1 second. I was just checking something out.
How you could break the game.
With a trinket that doesn't really.
It doesn't do anything.
Well,
It gives me a luck point back.
Yeah, it's one. So the trinkets hold particular sentimental value for your character, and once per quest outside of combat, you can have your character spend a few moments looking at the trinket, thinking about what it means to them, and if you do, you regain 1 luck point. I can't wait to have you like describe your character looking poetically at a potted plant, for example.
No, I got this dumb idea, but I'm gonna go hardcore with it. So
Sure, hit me with the hardcore, man.
So what I have as my trinket is a container that held churros. You know, it says churros on the front, right?
Sure.
And of course now it's all folded flat, like when it came. And it's all dirty and stuff. But yeah, no, I heard a story from my parents about churros, and I found that package, and it makes me think of them. And everything I cook is churros. If I make dinner for us, I'm making churros. but it's probably just Rad Roach.
Everything is just it's just named churros.
Yeah.
And every time you think about your parents, you're like, oh, like mom would always talk about the best churros that she ever had.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, I have a churro, kind of like a fry container, right? Like stupid piece of cardboard that's probably wearing out from me pulling it out of the pocket, putting it back in the pocket.
Okay. So
Or the pack.
So, sure. A trinket that's personalized to you.
Yes.
Now, the next thing is that you do get tag skill items. So this is something that I thought was neat, is that based on your tag skills, you actually get additional items for those. So who has athletics?
Oh, I got
as a tag skill.
Yeah, like, why don't you guys go down the list and let's just discuss the tags. And any duplicates you have, we'll cover both of them. And anybody doesn't, that's fine. So
I don't have anything before small guns.
I don't have anything before small guns either.
Okay, so small guns. So the small guns gives you 6 + 3 combat dice.
One second. What skills do you have, Jeff?
Oh, this is going to be good. I have.
Well, what tag skills do you have?
Small guns, speech, and survival.
Okay. We're a little different. Okay.
Well,
I have small guns.
I thought about sneak, but
I have a small gun, sneak, survival, and unarmed, and I get survival because I'm a ghoul.
Okay. So small guns, like I said, gives you the 6 + 3 combat dice of additional ammunition of a type you already possess. So no nukes. I don't think I should have to say that, but just in case.
So I was reading while Brent was doing the extra combat dice thing. So we get 6 + 3, or we get 6 + 3 combat dice.
Well, you get 6 + 3 combat dice. So when you roll a d6, if you want to roll 3d6 right now in the Discord, and I'll translate that into what that equals for those three.
Oh, into Discord. Okay, I was going to roll it in the.
Wow, I get 3 more bullets.
$3d6, right? All right, I got a 2, a 3, and a 2.
Perfect. So that means you get 2, 0, and 2. So 4 extra bullets. So 10 total from small guns.
Okay.
Okay. So next we have sneak, 1 dose of Calmex.
Okay. What the hell is that?
What is Calmex?
Yeah.
Let's see. Calmex is a chem item. Doesn't actually say what it is. It just says, and what you get with Calmex is that you get to roll 1d20 on all perception and agility tests, and you get +2 combat dice to sneak attack damage. Its duration is lasting, which we'll discuss at a later time. It is addictive as a yes 1, less than 1 pound. It costs 100 caps to get, and it's actually fairly rare. And Calmex is a light tranquilizer used to calm the nerves. It isn't potent enough to function as a painkiller, but a dose can quiet anxieties and fears, keeping panic from disturbing delicate activity.
Weird.
Calmex addiction. A failed addiction roll renders you addicted to Calmex. You suffer complications on agility tests on all rolls of 18 or higher whenever you are not under the effects of Calmex.
Great.
Perfect. Oops.
Okay.
Okay. So then we have sneak is the Calmex. Speech. As part of speech, you get formal hat and formal clothing.
Score. Got those marked.
Okay. And survival, you get 2 purified water. So 2 units of purified water and 1 iguana on a stick.
Bingo.
I doubt it's iguana.
Lizard stick.
If you're lucky, it's lizard. Maybe it's something that could be forced to look like a lizard when charred enough.
Lizards are pretty common in the Wasteland.
Oh, I'm sure, but that doesn't mean that's what was sold to you. Because Jeff is definitely a trustworthy merchant, I'm sure. Did you
Yes.
have any other tag skills that I'm
Unarmed.
Unarmed? Okay. Unarmed, you get knuckles. Bigger, better knuckles than you already have.
As in like brass knuckles, right?
I believe that's what they are. Okay.
Oh,
So-
hey, Mike, on my trader kit,
Mhm.
I get 8 plus 4 combat dice rounds of 38 caliber ammunition. So I got to roll 4d6 in the
Correct.
roller. Sorry.
No, that's fine.
All right, 4144.
That's pretty boring. That's one extra shot.
Okay. Then I will take one extra shot.
Okay. So, and just for your so just for your awareness, Brent, the knuckles are brass knuckles, knuckle dusters, etc.,
Right.
etc., etc. So
That's
there's
what I
nothing special about that. Okay, so that's actually all 6 steps of the character creation process. So not having played the game before, that takes you through it. Now, the one thing that you're probably going to need to do is we're going to need to take some of your equipment and apply the different damage resistances and stuff like that to your hit locations where you have armor and stuff. Because you guys, when you looked at your kits, you got armor, for example, like on your chest, and then you get an armored leg.
Yeah, I chose an armored chest.
Me too.
So yeah. So in that particular case,
In my case, it's leather armor chest.
Me as well.
Okay. Road leathers. I think that's what they mean by leathers. Yeah, so leather armors is like leather jacket, leather pants, motorcycle boots, metallic studs, etc., etc., etc. What they've done in this game, which I thought was interesting about how they delegated it, is that each piece of equipment is going to have damage resistances that are tied to it. Now, unless I'm reading this incorrectly, is that what they do is they just have it say, like, if you want a piece of this type of clothing, it's going to cost X amount, and it covers this one spot, and it does these resistances. So, like road leather, for example, you can cover your arms, legs, and torsos, and it's physical 1, energy 1 in terms of resistances.
Physical 1, energy 1. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, because it's just on our torso.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that means
torso.
anytime you get hit in the torso, then you would have a 1-in-1 resistance.
And how many hit points does it have?
It does
At least they have HP listed on the character sheet.
Yeah. I believe that's to do with more the amount of hit points you take in an area. I'll have to double check that. I believe that's part of the combat section.
Okay.
I did skim through it, but more for the character creation part. I tried to read as much of the other stuff first. And then I think, what else? Did we have anything else? You guys?
Yeah, I need
luck
to
points.
roll on the ammunition aid and junk tables for my wares.
Yeah. Ammunition.
Okay. But I don't know where the said tables are because it doesn't say. It just says 3 rolls each on the ammunition, aid, and junk loot tables.
Okay.
So
I wonder if that's the scavenging. I'll have to double check that. But
Okay.
basically, there's it looks like that's more probably like the loot. There are loot tables when you scavenge. and everything like
the
that.
Brahmin's all the way on 341, so I gotta
Mhm.
scroll to there to even see about the Brahmin.
Yeah.
And that's honestly, that's just the that's where the it's like the monster area.
Yeah. So in here, you're going to actually see the ammunition table on page 200.
200.
Yep. And the junk table will be on.
Oh, here we go. Okay, so ammunition, and then I need aid and junk. I see chems, I see weapons. Huh.
Junk. Here we go. Junk has little immediate benefit. Junk items have no rules, effects on their own, or only affected to be found and broken down and used. While you
I see
find
random
junk,
food and random beverages. I don't see aid though.
yeah. Okay, let's not get hung up on that. We'll figure that aid.
Okay, we'll figure that out.
Because I feel like it's just probably something that a closer read will get that taken care of.
Well, yeah, aid has to be either food or beverages or some medicine.
Yeah,
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
It's fine. Yeah, it could be a Nuka-Cola.
I guess it could be chems. That seems overpowered, though.
So
it does.
You took trader, right, Jeff?
Yeah, I took trader.
My character concept. I might change my character. I'm already thinking of a different character idea.
Well, needless to say, no characters are set in stone until we start playing the game.
Exactly. Well, Jeff, I was just thinking if Jeff's a trader, maybe the super mutant bodyguard would be a more interesting way to go.
Hey man, you play the character you want to. I mean, this is
play the character you want. I could be your deputy. You know, I was a trader, but I got into town, and
well, you have the Brahmin and stuff, so the trader and
That's
bodyguard might be interesting.
It could be.
I kind of think that dynamic
100%.
might be interesting. So I might make another character and then decide before we play.
Okay. Well, that's fine. I think that both of those work.
I am warning the viewers or anybody that watches the video that my character may change drastically before we play.
Before we get to the before we actually get to the game itself.
He's now on steroids.
Lots of steroids. So one thing I did want to mention is that with the next couple of weeks being, New Year's and Christmas Day, I think we're actually not going to be getting back to the stream until the 15th. Is that accurate? Would you guys say?
I would say the 15th. I may not be in town on the 8th.
Oh, okay. So 15th. So we're Brent will have plenty of time to make, remake, and unmake, and then redo his characters in that time.
The Mr. Handy Sheriff.
And I will have
is another option.
Yes, you can be the Mr. Handy Sheriff.
No, I think the super mutant bodyguard might be neat.
Okay.
So you might have talked me into it. I blame you.
You blame me?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's fine. So let's go ahead and do this part here. This is the last component that I wanted us to really cover tonight. And it's not, I mean, it won't really matter what you've chosen necessarily, but
it'll matter.
What's that?
I said, it'll matter.
What is the last part?
I'm kidding. What is it?
So the first thing is that what's interesting about what they've done with a bang or a whimper is that there's two ways to get to this adventure. The first way is you actually complete the adventure in the starter set, and that is called something. What was that one called? Once Upon a Time in the Commonwealth. So you can actually complete that, and that leads you naturally to this. Or if you want to start where we are, you actually just kind of can create the settlement itself. Mm-hmm. And so the first question that we run into is, what is the settlement's name?
That's
Do
a
you
good
guys-
question.
It is a good question.
So, of the Fallout type stuff, do you have any names from Fallout that kind of hit you hard or you really liked, or Fallout themed names that kind of juke you just right?
No, did you have something? I really don't.
I don't either. Here, let me look. 1 second.
Radiation Springs. No, that's dumb.
Malfunction Junction. Let's see. Gutterville,
Okay, Gutterville. I vote for Gutterville. Let's go.
Curtain Falls, Fester Chapel.
No. That is not better than Gutterville.
Voidville, Grieftown.
That's not bad.
Let's go with Grieftown.
Okay, let's go with Grieftown.
So, from the most miraculous technology from a bygone age comes Grieftown, a town with many stories to tell. All sad, apparently.
All filled with, what's that word? Grief.
Okay. So, what are some founding principles for this settlement? Just generally, like, rules or values that would be expected behavior here. Like in Grief Town, like, is it kind of a every man for himself? Is it kind of a island paradise of sorrow?
Well, I mean, as the sheriff, since we have a sheriff, there are rules, so it's probably like the normal stuff. Don't steal from each other. Don't shoot each other. If you have a problem, go to the sheriff first.
Don't shoot, don't steal, don't kill.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Don't shoot, don't steal, don't slay. There we go. Keep the S's. No shooting, stealing, or slaying in this town allowed. Ooh. I'll kind of riff on these a little bit, and we'll come back with these later. What goods does the settlement produce? Like, why would a trader be there?
What do they do in Grief Town?
Do they have a particular type of crop that they produce? Are they chemists, and they happen to be causing grief because all they do is create narcotics for the rest of the wasteland?
No, you name it Grief Town for the same reason you name it Iceland, right?
So people don't come here?
Yeah.
I think it's more like something like what is it in Mad Max? They make methane in Bartertown, right? Maybe we raise
It's something like that. Yeah. So that
we
it's
raise
fuel,
pigs.
right?
You raise pigs?
Mutated pigs.
We raise pigs. Yep.
Okay.
And we sell pig milk.
With the milk. Okay. What types of groups or factions live in the settlement?
Like from the character classes, or like
just like, do you have do you have a Brotherhood of Steel type person living there? Do you have any raiders that make their way there?
There's no Brotherhoods of
Scavengers?
Steel.
Don't they hate super mutants?
Who, Brotherhood of Steel?
Yeah.
Well, I can't say they're very
they hate
open
everyone.
to. Well, I think that
Well,
anybody non-human.
I think they hate mutants.
Mutants is my impression that they hate mutants in general. I don't go deeper on Brotherhood of Steel.
Like, they don't like they don't like non-humans. So I would say no. There's no problem. As either character I'm playing, that's probably not That's probably a thing.
So basically so would you say that they're just like your settlers, and then you have kind of your administrative people, mayors, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Mayor, sheriff, they kind of form their own faction leadership. Any other outside factions you can think of that you'd be worried about?
I mean, everybody's afraid of the raiders, right?
Yeah. And there could be a what is it? Children of Adam like temple not far away, which are the radioactive people.
The really fun ones. Okay. So the settlers' government and laws are like you said it before, normal, don't shoot, don't steal, don't slay. Any other laws or anything like that you would think of? Like, and I guess for founding principles, how would you view outsiders for that? Would you?
Well, I mean, if they want to take care of pigs, they're probably welcome.
All pig farmers welcome. The rest stay away. Something like that. We'll see. Any challenges that you can think of that you would feel would be impactful for the settlement in the first year? Or I guess I should say, what are 3 challenges the settlement faced in its first year?
Raising pigs in a irradiated wasteland might be one of them.
That's true.
So right out of the gate, you had like a pig famine or pig flu or swine flu, I guess.
Pig problems, yes.
Swine. So you had swine flu, okay.
More like pig irradiated pigs. Like,
so
we had to hold them down and domesticate them, or the town did.
So pig domestication is more than anything.
Yeah, there you go.
Acquiring stock is really what that sounds like. What are 2 other challenges you had in the first year?
Your turn, Jeff.
It feels like some irradiated, bunch of vicious creatures came our way.
Okay. So
not something big, something more scary than rad roaches, but not like the things that would have wiped out the entire civilization.
So not death claws or whatever they're called.
Death claws. That's yes.
Oh, that's what we should have been raising instead of pigs. Should have been raising death claws.
Yeah, it's funny.
That for longevity's sake, I think that's what we need to do.
Okay. Okay. So basically, you had some sort of
maybe like blood bugs. Those were always kind of horrifying.
They were, yes, they were.
So blood bug infestation sounds gross. Bed bugs, but worse. And what's the last one, Brent or Jeff? I mean, freeform. Whoever wants to go there.
Well, if there is a Children of the Atom temple nearby, they sent somebody out to recruit, and we're irradiating the shit out of people.
And they are probably a problem. That is correct.
Okay, so Children of the Atom Temple built nearby. That in itself is enough of a challenge.
Okay.
In what capacity do each of you work for the settlement's militia? So Brent, probably if you go with the sheriff, you probably are in some sort of.
I'm the sheriff.
Yeah.
He's the sheriff. I think I've been giving them good deals on weapons and ammo. Not like great deals, but
Okay. So Jeff,
I'm risking my life out in the wasteland to find this stuff, so.
Okay, so you're a distributor.
Yes, I'm an arms dealer.
And Brent, you are possibly a sheriff.
Or bodyguard. You can put that on there. Because I think I'm leaning more towards the super mutant now.
Okay.
I thought you would play a super mutant. I just didn't realize I would plant the bug in there. Okay.
So what's a euphemism for an arms dealer? I'm going to have to look that up.
A pew peddler? I don't know.
Pew peddler.
A peace distributor.
There you go. Peace distributor.
Distribute pieces of metal.
Equalizer, because you sell to both sides.
Raiders?
Oh, that's fine as long as nobody finds out.
So,
right?
Mm-hmm.
You're just making sure everyone's on an equal footing.
Okay. Well, perfect. So I think again, we'll be gathering back over, and I know it's holidays, so we'll still have some other videos that we're going to put out with our normal regular show. Possibly, we'll see. I think it gets a little bit hazy around the holidays.
It does.
We're hobbyists more than professionals, so we will do our best to find out what's happening, but we probably won't be commenting on any recent business who shall not be named drama, because that's already been commented, so we'll leave out of that, right? Or are we going to comment about
it? No, it was horrific, and the timing was
we can leave that to the other people that have shouted very impassionedly.
They should have.
So
we have opinions. They're not positive. So
so with that, I think we're done. Do you guys want to wrap it up there?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Sweet. Well, then we appreciate anybody who stopped by and gave us a listen, even if it was just for a few minutes. Hopefully, if you guys have any questions about Fallout 2D20 character creation, you can watch parts of this. I might even try to go through and add chapters if that's a real thing. I don't know if it is. We'll see. And then, of course, Jeff, do you want to tell them how to get a hold of us?
Yeah, you can interact with us on social media by searching at Rollwise on YouTube, Facebook, Threads, and Twitter. Or you can get us by email, rollwiseguys@gmail.com.
And as always, we appreciate all of you, especially everybody who came over from the Matt Colville side. Thank you for viewing and tuning in. And as always, roll well and roll wise. Thank you, everybody.